ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tech Showdown. My name is Kevin, this is my co-host Teddy, and today we're checking out our first RX500 series card. And it's this guy right here. This is the Gigabyte RX570 Gaming 4G. So yeah, I'm not sure what a lot of us expected out of the 500 series. A lot of people predicted that they would end up rebranding the 480 and the 470, and that's pretty much what we've gotten. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's first take a look at this guy. So I think quite a few people will end up going for a model such as this one because they're coming in at quite a good price point. Now let's take the GPU out quickly and then have a look at what else it comes with. These usually don't come with much in these lower-end cards, and that's all you get. The manual and a driver CD. So pretty standard there. Yeah, it's usually only in the high-end cards that you get lots of accessories and stuff like that, like what we've seen with the GTX 1080 Ti's lately. I guess it's... Oh, I'll get this off. There we go. Pull this guy out. I guess it's not fair to call this a low-end card. It definitely isn't. I would say it's probably the mid of the mid-range. But yeah, so let's talk about the GPU you get with the RX570. So it's the same one you got with the 470 and the 480, and of course I guess the 580 now too. It's the 14 nanometer FinFET Polaris GPU with 2048 stream processors. Wow, Vega isn't here yet. 32 compute units and 128 texture units. Now, clock speeds wise, that's where we see a bit of a change from the 470. So this guy right here is coming in with a default gaming mode clock speed of 1244 megahertz. That is now what you would call the stock speed for the 570. We compare that to the 470, which came in with a clock speed of 1206 megahertz. That's their boost clock speeds, what you'll see when you are gaming. So a little bit there. Will you notice it? Unlikely. Maybe a really astute viewer might, but yeah, you're probably not going to notice anything there. Now this model has an OC mode, and that'll take it up to 1255 megahertz, which you're probably not going to notice from its gaming mode. Memory wise, so we saw a big difference here, well, bigger I should say. So it's still coming with the 4 gigs of GDDR5 memory on that 256-bit bus. The difference here is that it's coming with a 7000 megahertz speed on the memory when we compare that to the 470, which came with a 6600 megahertz clock speed on the memory. So you're getting 400 megahertz faster memory. That actually will make a decent difference there. The clock speeds difference will be very small, but that's 400 megahertz on the memory. That's pretty decent. So yeah, that'll maybe help a little bit. We'll talk about that in the showdown a bit more. Now let's talk about TDP. So the TDP is 150 watts, which some of you guys that are experts might be like, the 470 was 120 watts. That's true. The TDP has actually gone up, even though this Polaris chip is more optimized. Now to offset that, Radeon or AMD have announced a feature called Chill. You can use it with this card. It's quite technical to get into, but basically it helps lower temps and lower power consumption when you're not moving around on the screen much. If you're just sitting looking at something or things like that, it just helps that bit with bringing down temperatures. It will lower your frame rate at the same time also. So that's quite a cool feature that they've brought in with this guy. Will it make a big difference for majority of users? Maybe. We'll have to see and check it out for ourselves. But yeah, that's a good feature there to offset the slightly higher TDP. So let's talk about the cooler then. So this is what I call the Windforce 2X cooler. So it's coming with these 90mm fans. This is Gigabyte's unique fan blade design, which usually does a pretty good job. The heatsink's a decent size for a card of this class. I mean, it's pretty good there. It's coming with 3 composite heat pipes as well. That's always good to see. That'll help transfer that heat away, and they're directly touching the GPU as well, so it's nice to see. And it's coming with their 3D active fans, which basically it just turns these fans off when you're doing casual things, browsing the web, all of that type of stuff. So your temps, once your temps start going up, the fans will turn on. Now it has RGB lighting on the side, as well as a fan stop light to let you know that your fans are stopped. It's coming with a nice metal backplate. Always like to see that. It's always good to see. That'll help with drooping, and just in general, I think it makes the card seem a bit more premium. So I've been wanting to see that more and more on these mid-range graphics cards. Now, components-wise, it's coming with a 6+1 power phase and high-grade chokes and capacitors. That'll be good. That should help with overclocking. Now, as far as power goes, it's coming with a single 8-pin power connector. And as far as I/O goes, triple display port, single HDMI port, and a single DVI-D port. That'll be good for most people. I can't imagine many users using a lot of displays with something like the RX570. They would usually trend, if you're gaming on multiple displays, that is, to the higher end graphics cards. So this one will be quite interesting. So I'm going to be doing a showdown against the RX570, also a Gigabyte model, to keep it nice and fair. Now, my reasoning for this is I want to see the difference between these two, but my main thing is that I've talked to Playtech and they said I'm allowed to overclock both of the graphics cards, something I'm not usually allowed to do. So that will be very interesting. A lot of people are going on about the 500 series, the 580 and the 570, saying these optimized Polaris GPUs allow for much higher overclock or much more overclocking headroom. And I'm going to be putting that to the test. So I'll see how high I can take the 470 and then how high I can take the 570 and see if it really is that much better, if the overclocking headroom is really that good with the RX570. Now, I thank you all for watching this video. Please subscribe to Tech Showdown if you haven't already, because there's more Ryzen 5 Showdowns right around the corner. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.